Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. Today is the day of full moon in Capricorn. The sun is in Cancer, the opposite sign. And Capricorn is governed by Saturn and very much a time to commit. And I will explain why. First of all, let's look at the chart. It's set for London. It's virtually midnight tonight on the 19th of July. And Aries is the rising sign in the UK. Uranus at the moment in Aries, and it has been for quite some time, quite many years, about 7 years in the sign. Uranus is forming this very difficult aspect to Mars in Scorpio. It's called a quincunx in astrology, and that word itself, you can see, is an awkward word. Aries is in a fire sign, Mars is in a water sign. So that's the incompatibility between fire and water. Water can put out fire, fire and water can create a lot of steam. They are at odds with each other. Uranus is a planet, we can time Uranus transits to the day. Uranus wants change, and it doesn't matter how that comes about. So the principle here of sudden, volatile change and violent separation is this pattern at the moment in the sky. It's also accidents, because Uranus and Mars together can make us rush around in haste, fall over, be very ungrounded. So that's one thing to watch out for if you personally have any planets that are being affected at the moment by this particular transit. And it lasts until the end of the month, early August. Then Mars will be moving away from Scorpio into Sagittarius. Good news is it will then actually, through Sagittarius, form a good aspect to Uranus. That is a good promise. However, that's not there yet. Any planet in your chart at 24 degrees or 25 will be having some sort of stress, some sort of energy, some sort of attack, some need for change. How you cope with that is up to you and depends on your particular chart. If you are very flexible or rigid, depending on your chart. This Mars-Uranus in conjunct has activated the chart of Turkey. All countries have birth charts. Turkey has Jupiter at 24 degrees of Scorpio. It's also a Scorpio sun sign, and it has Mercury and with Saturn at 24 of Libra. So you can see there's the action that has been occurring in Turkey. And it's huge. The number of people who have been arrested is massive. Also, of course, the horrendous killing of people celebrating Independence Day, Bastille Day in France, in Nice. So that's the bad news. The good news, same chart, is Venus is in Leo, and Venus entered Leo just as we had in the UK, we were having the election for a new Prime Minister. I say election, the party elects, not the people. And just as Venus entered Leo, Theresa May became the new Prime Minister. Venus is trining Saturn. That's a very good connection. Venus is fast moving, so it doesn't last for long. However, this full moon is governed by Saturn. So Saturn making that very good aspect to Venus and Mercury both bodes very well. Commitment is the word. Commitment to what we love, commitment to relationships, commitment to our heart. There is also in the sky a grand water trine. Now that is involving the sun. Here's the sun, and also to Mars, and then also to Chiron. The sun is our centre, it's our power for each and every one of us. It's almost going to be moving in a few days. It will go into its own sign of Leo. But here is actually the willpower and the energy of Mars combined with a healer. the wounded healer archetype of Chiron. All are combining. So strength, willpower, and healing any wounds we may have. Spiritual wounds, because Chiron is in Pisces. A feeling of being overwhelmed, Pisces, a feeling lost, a feeling unsupported. The Sun is saying no. Mars is saying no. It's as if the army's coming to support and protect and go, no, we are in charge, which means every one of us, we have our own inner sun, our own strength, our own willpower. I love the tarot, and I love in particular Osho, the Osho Zen Tarot, and this card is the card of the world, which is Saturn. And in the Osho Zen, you can see it's called completion. So the full moon, because it's activating Saturn, is saying time to commit and what needs completing. So in the words from the tarot itself, here is the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle being put into its place, the position of the third eye, the place of inner perception. Even in the ever-changing flow of life, there are moments in which we come to a point of completion. And in these moments, we are able to perceive the whole picture, the composite of all the small pieces that have occupied our attention for so long. In the finishing, we can either be in despair because we don't want the situation to come to an end, or we can be grateful and accepting of the fact that life is full of endings and new beginnings. So whatever's been absorbing your time and energy is now coming to an end. In completing it, you will be clearing the space for something new to begin. And that is very relevant, this ending and beginning. The reason, Venus. Venus has been invisible. Venus has been in the underworld, meeting the Sun. And Venus's cycle is known as the synodic cycle, but it's also connected to the shamanic cycle. And Venus, now in Leo, is rising as an evening star. And we're in what is known as the overtone of Leo, and that's the heliacal rise last year on the 22nd of August. It's the archetype of the Queen. And this is relevant for men and women both. It's the year of the rise of feminine leadership. We already have, of course, Angela Merkel in Germany. We have Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland. We now have Theresa May in the UK, and possibly Hillary Clinton in the USA. I'm looking very much at this cycle of Venus, and I'm going to be giving another webinar on it, because this is very important to look at the conjunctions Venus now will be making with the moon, and this follows the chakras. So my next webinar is on Thursday, July the 28th at 8 p.m. You can subscribe to this webinar by signing up for my newsletter, be on the invitation list, and as I said, it's on Thursday, July the 28th. Look forward to meeting you. Thank you for watching. Good night.